Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we have a tag video. It's called Frugal Habits of a Luxury Lover. So if you're interested, do keep on watching. So I was first tagged in this video by Dani from Dani O. And I believe that this is a collaboration video with Poola from With a Touch of Luxury. So thank you for tagging me. I'm going to link their videos down below. I was subsequently also tagged by Corrine from Mary Luxe. So I'm going to link her video down below as well if you are interested to watch. So I believe this video is essentially talking about all the frugal habits that we have as a luxury lover. I have watched some of their videos and I must say that these ladies are so disciplined with like different aspects of their life in terms of like saving cost and saving money. So definitely something that I can take away from. So today I'm just going to share with you some of the frugal habits that I have and what I do to save money and save costs on every other aspect of my life. First and foremost, we have the most talked about one, and that is parking. Having traveled around the world quite a bit, I must say that parking in Singapore is not exactly crazy. Like, we don't pay a lot of money for parking, unlike in say Australia or even in Japan. It's very expensive to park in other countries, but in Singapore I feel like it's still okay, but it's something that I cannot handle. I feel like if there is an opportunity to save on parking, I definitely will. So I will go to some measures. I wouldn't call them extreme measures, but I will go to some measures to make sure that I save on parking as much as possible. Like planning my day ahead and googling all the parking rates before I even go to that place. So let's say I have IPL at like ION. I will make sure that I book my IPL at like 5:15 p.m. on a weekday, because after 5 p.m. it is per entry, and I know that I need some time to park my car and get to the IPL place. So I always book my IPL at some weird ass timing like 5:15 p.m. And I'm not sure if the ladies at the IPL salons, do you call them salons, actually find that strange, but I don't really care. And so as much as possible, I feel like if I can find per entry parking, I will. So on Sundays, if I go to Orchard Road, I used to always park at Forum, because Forum on Sundays is per entry parking, but they have since took that privilege out, so it's no longer per entry. I feel like everyone started to know about it. So that's why. And most days when I need to go into CBD or go into office, I tend to park at MBS because I can get some parking privileges with my card. And then I'll take the MRT like 2 stops down to the office and then take the MRT back, because if you take an MRT, I think to and fro is like $2. But if you do like parking in the CBD on a weekday, it can be like almost $2.40 or sometimes even $3 an hour. Is crazy. And sometimes like I tend to stay in the CBD for quite a while, and my parking will end up being like $20. It's like crazy. So as much as possible, I feel like if I can save on parking, I will. I will also park somewhere where I know that there is per entry parking, and like maybe walk 5-10 minutes to where I need to get to, and then walk back again to get my car, because I honestly don't mind walking. I don't necessarily think that walking is a chore for me, so I will do that. But I do have some friends who really absolutely just dislike walking. So if I need to give people a lift, sometimes I will just make known that, okay, if you want a lift, you need to walk this distance to get to my car, so that they can plan if they want to take a lift from me or drive themselves, you know. So I'm just being considerate. Another thing that I feel like I save quite a lot of money on is actually eating out. It's not to say that I don't eat out completely. I do, because my job entitles me to meet clients. So sometimes we have meals outside, or sometimes we have coffees. I will still do that, and I will gladly do that. Not entirely because I want the sale or anything, but because I feel like when I'm meeting people, then I don't mind treating myself to like a coffee from the cafe, or like a nice meal with someone that I can talk to. But most days, if I'm just going to be working alone at home or just be alone, I am very fine eating in. And I love cooking actually. I love cooking, and I will whip up something at home just to have it, because I don't need to spend money. I just find ingredients that I have at home and I make use of these ingredients to prepare a meal for myself. So I tend to save money that way, I guess. I'm also not necessarily very much into fine dining. I don't spend a lot on food. I feel like when I go to restaurants, the most I will spend on like a regular meal is like $20, and if it's like a special occasion, then it will probably not exceed $100. But anything more than that, I feel like I don't really need it. So I'm not very much big on food that way. Something that I did quite a lot of in my early 20s was to go to cafes, different cafes, to have brunch, because back then brunch is like a very big thing, right? Actually, I feel like brunch is still a very big thing now for the younger ones. But after learning how to properly make scrambled eggs at home, by the way, I do make quite a mean scrambled eggs myself, and I have truffle oil, so I always have truffle oil scrambled eggs at home for like, I don't know, a fraction of the cost that you will find in cafes. So I never ever order brunches outside anymore, and I feel like if there is an item on the menu that I can prepare myself, I will never order it, because I feel like I can save on that, and I'll rather order something that, you know, like maybe slow cooked lamb or like slow roasted pork loin or some shit like that, you know. Like, I know that it will take a lot of time and effort, and then I'll order these things that are on the menu. But most things that I feel like I can prepare myself, like most pastas or like brunch meals, I will cook them at home, and I refuse to order them in a cafe. I think same goes for coffee. So for those of you who don't know, I used to work in cafes and I was a barista at some cafes, but that was a long time ago. And despite working in coffee, I don't think I'm very much a coffee snob. Like, I do have friends who are absolute coffee snobs. If the coffee is not great, they will refuse to go there, and these people are also the ones that refuse to drink Nespresso. But to me, right, I feel like Nespresso is, I wouldn't say it's super legit, but it's decent, you know. Like, I would drink Nespresso every day. So if I'm staying at home to work, I'll have Nespresso every day. And now the capsules are like so much cheaper than last time. I feel like one sleeve you can get it for like $7, and it comes in like 10 capsules. So each coffee that you make is like 70 cents, plus minus if you add milk is like, I don't know, 90 cents, $1. It's so much better than the kopi that you get from the coffee shop, because those tend to be so sweet, and I just cannot stand things that are too sweet. Like, sometimes I feel like I drink the kopi, like the iced kopi, you know, sometimes I crave for iced kopi. Oh my freaking god, it's so sweet, I cannot finish the entire thing. So I'd rather have like Nespresso with no sugar at all, because like I don't drink coffee with sugar most of the time. So sticking with food, because I like to cook in all the time, I rarely do takeaways. Like, I refuse to do takeaways or like order on Grab or like Food Panda. I do sometimes, but that's because like I have some rebates, or my mom has some rebates that she needs to use. But other than that, I feel like I don't normally order on Grab, because Singapore is so accessible. Like, I do have a McDonald's and KFC right downstairs. I even have a Liho downstairs. I have a food court downstairs. Everything is within reach, and I don't think I'm that lazy that I cannot walk downstairs to go and buy my own food, and rather pay like, I don't know, an extra $1 just to get it delivered to me. And sometimes when you order on these delivery apps, they tend to jack up the prices of the food because they can. So in order to save that kind of money, I would rather just go and buy it myself. For those of you who are new here, my name is Amelia, and I do videos on luxury and lifestyle. So if you enjoy this kind of videos, do consider subscribing, click on the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my future videos. So for those of you who don't know, I actually started this channel back in 2014? 14? I'm not sure. 2012? Oh my god, I actually have to check. But yes, I started this channel in 2014, and my very first video was 13th of Feb in 2014. It's very embarrassing, so if you want to go and watch, I'm going to link it out over here. I still have it on my channel. There are some videos that I've privatized since, because it features people that I do not have in my life anymore, so I've block that out. So for those of you who know me for a very long time or have been following me since then, I used to buy a lot of makeup. It's kind of ridiculous, to be honest. I feel like I was just in my makeup phase. It was the era when everyone was doing YouTube videos like featuring looks and featuring like makeup. I used to follow Ingrid Nilsen, who is no longer doing YouTube. I used to follow Fleur from Fluffedupflair. I used to follow like all these American and like UK YouTubers that used to do like makeup tutorials. So I think that was why I was like super into makeup then. I have like makeup organization that I still have in my drawer. So I think a couple of years ago I decided to stop buying so much makeup because there's only so much makeup that one can use, and I don't even use like nail polishes that I buy anymore, so I've also stopped buying them. I'm consciously trying to cut down on buying makeup. I used to go really excessive. So whenever I'm in New York, I feel like I used to spend so much money at Sephora. Like one go can be like $500 to $700. It was crazy. Like I would just grab everything that I want in the entire year in my basket. And I'm even a VVIP for US Sephora. Like I'm not even a VIP in like the Singapore Sephora, but I'm a beauty insider, is that what they call it, for like the Sephora in the US. And I must say that the US gives you more perks if you are like a VIB member. They have like birthday treats, like they give you free things on your birthday, and they also have like redemption of points, and their redemption of points is so much better than the ones that you get back here locally. So that's why I always buy my stuff overseas, because it's also slightly cheaper in the US for the US brands. But yeah, I kind of like stopped buying makeup so much. Sometimes here and there I still do buy some stuff, like you know how I did in Tokyo. I was really trying to resist because I really don't need that much makeup, but I feel like a bit here and there is okay. But as much as possible, I try not to go crazy and buy like a few eyeshadow palettes at one go like I used to do. So yeah. So when I was younger, I feel like I'm also the kind of person that will not spend on manicures and pedicures because I don't feel like I need them. I only started doing manicures, mainly manicures, not so much of pedicures. I feel like the very first time I actually stepped into a store to actually get gel manicure done was the very first awards night I attended in my current job. Like I feel like I wanted to treat myself. I feel like a $15 like gel manicure was like a treat to myself, so I wanted to treat myself to it. And I walked into a store to get it done. I feel like for the most part, like I'm okay with having like bare nails. I think last year I signed up a package at Far East Plaza so that I can occasionally get my nails done. I tend to only typically get my nails done again before I go abroad on a holiday. So yeah. Honestly, if you look at my nails right now, they're kind of like mangled up. Like I really have not got them done. It looks so bad. But you know what? I just treat them as like French tips. I'm kind of disgusting that way, but it doesn't really bother me that much. That's why I don't typically spend money on that. And my nails on my feet are also still the same. They're like kind of like grown out a bit, but they don't grow as fast as my fingernails, so that's why I don't do pedicures that often as well. Same goes for my hair. Like I don't tend to go to the hair salon that often, and when I do, I go to a neighborhood salon. Like I don't go to those upscale salons that you can find in like Orchard Road or something. I have been going to neighborhood salons for my whole entire life. So when I was young, my mom actually brought me to this hairdresser, and ever since then I have been following her. Like I have not changed an hairdresser. I feel like the only time I did go to a different hairdresser was when I was a hair model for this salon called Picasso Hair Studio, and they did like a feature on me. They wanted to feature my hair, and then I think subsequently it even appeared in like a magazine or like the newspaper. It appeared in a newspaper article. If I can find a newspaper article, I'll link it out over here. But yeah, I think my friend actually got me into this gig, and I'm not sure if it was entirely for L'Oreal, but yes, I was a hair model for a period of time. I think the hairstylist, I'm not sure if the hairstylist hates me or not because I have so much hair. I was literally sitting on the chair for like 10-11 hours just to get my hair done. It was kind of ridiculous, but luckily I could bring my laptop and like do my work in the salon, so that's fine. As of late, I've also been trying to cut down on fast fashion. I used to spend a lot of money at H&M's doing like hauls, or like Zara or Mango as well. I try not to step into these stores anymore because I'm trying to limit the amount of clothes that I buy. Like, I'll rather buy like higher quality clothes. Not to say that these clothes are not good quality clothes, but I'm trying as much as possible not to, and I want to invest in like better quality clothes that will last me a lifetime instead of buying too much fast fashion. So I don't buy from places like Shein. I'm not sure if you've read articles, but they don't necessarily treat their employees right. So I don't want to what do you call that? I don't want to encourage that, so I try not to buy from places like these. I also don't typically buy clothes from Taobao because I have done a couple of times and I'm just really not happy with the quality of it. Like, it's so scratchy and the feeling that you get on your body is just not great. And there are many Taobao pieces that I bought that I don't even wear because like I just don't like how they feel on me. Like, as much as I like fashion, and I get that some people do like fashion, and you know, Taobao is like a great place to buy cheap clothing, like especially if they are trendy pieces, but they just don't work with me because like I just don't like the way they sit on my body and feel on my body. Especially like I'm very particular about how the material and texture actually feels on my body. I want it to be comfortable, so I don't tend to buy from places like these as well. I feel like another thing that I used to do when I was younger was to watch movies. Like, it's a very popular thing to do on dates, like you go on movie dates. But I think as I age and get older, I feel like watching movies on a date is, I mean, I'm not ruling that out, but I feel like it's honestly like a waste of time because you sit in the movie theater, you're not talking to each other, you're just watching the movie. I'd rather watch it myself because you don't even need to converse about it. And subsequently, because I was single for a very long time, I love watching movies alone. I love shopping alone as well. I just love doing a lot of things alone. I don't need someone to follow me. I feel like I don't like shopping with people simply because I don't need someone's comment on what I want and what I like. I want to make the decision myself, and I don't really like asking people anyway. So I just don't like shopping with people. I don't like watching movies with people. I do like to eat alone most of the time as well, but I don't mind eating with people as well. I know this is going to sound silly, but there are many times where I used to do events, like I get very tired and I need like a place to sleep. I know in the CBD they have like pods that you can rent and you can like sleep for like $20 or like $25. I've never really done research on that, but if you want to book like a short stay hotel, like, and it's always like places like very sleazy, like Hotel 81. Okay, I'm not sure, I sorry, I shouldn't be saying Hotel 81 is sleazy, but I think people associate it with that. So if you book like a short stay at Hotel 81, it's like maybe $50. Was it $30? I'm not sure about the pricing. So I thought it was quite genius when I decided to book a movie ticket to go sit in a movie theater, and I will sleep for the entire movie, and once the movie is done, I will get up. There was one time I went into a movie theater to take a nap, and when the movie was done, and the cleaner was like looking at me in a very weird manner because I'm pretty sure he just saw me sleep through the entire movie. But he didn't even know that my purpose to go into the movie theater was to sleep. And I'll purposely choose the movie with the longest screen time so that I can sleep for the longest period of time. It's quite ridiculous, I know. But, well, if you compare it, I mean, the movie tickets on weekdays could be like $10 or like $8 even, and sometimes, you know, the lady still gives me student price. I'm not sure if I look young, I'll just take that as a compliment, but I'll ask her whether there is still student price for it, and she say yes, and she still thinks that I'm a student because I still have my student pass available. So It's quite ridiculous, but student price tickets are like $6, guys. But this was many years ago. I'm not sure if it's still $6, okay, so don't quote me on it. But yeah, I used to do that all the time for like to take naps in like movie theaters. So recently I went to catch The Little Mermaid on my own at the movie theater. I was really contemplating whether I should watch the movie in like a normal Golden Village cinema, or I wanted to treat myself to like a gold class experience at, it's not really gold class also, but kind of, at the Eagle Eye cinemas. I'm so glad that I decided to choose the Eagle Eye cinemas, and it was really last minute that I decided that I want it. So I believe I booked the ticket at like 10:15 p.m. and I went down to catch it at 10:30 p.m. It was like a 15-minute drive from my place as well, because when I booked it, the entire theater had nobody. So they had like cushion seating, and I purposely picked the sofa one so that I can lay it down like a bed, and then I can like watch the movie on my own. And it even comes with like free drinks, which is not my main concern, but it was a great touch. But I had the whole theater to myself, and it was like, I think $28 if I'm not wrong. I mean, yes, it's quite expensive for like a movie ticket, but apparently I heard from someone that if you watch a normal movie at like a normal Golden Village, it's $16 on a weekend now, guys. Like, it's so expensive. Like, I will never ever do that. But I mean, coming from the person that don't mind spending to get the full theater experience on my own, it was honestly quite fun watching the movie alone, because like when the credits roll, they were playing like Under the Sea. I was just doing like a solo sing-along session. Honestly, if there's a camera following me on my daily life, you'll see that I do a lot of stupid things every day, but I will save you the trouble of like finding out about that. Sticking on this topic, I also don't really spend a lot on subscriptions. I feel like the only subscriptions that I have are Spotify, because I really want to listen to music on the go without having to listen to ads. I hate it. So I have been subscribed to Spotify for like more than a decade. Last time when I used to do events, we needed to play like some music in the background, so you can't have like music with ads, kind of annoying. That's why I signed up for Spotify. And when you sign up for Spotify, you can actually download music as well, so I can actually listen to music on the go when I'm on the plane especially. And you also don't need to use any sort of data when you listen to downloaded music. Last time when data was not a lot, it was very precious, but nowadays like every data plan is like 20 gig. It's like more than enough. So I don't download music that much anymore, but I try to download some music before I actually fly, those that I really want to listen to. Another subscription that I have is iCloud, because like I tend to take a lot of photos and my iCloud memory still gets full. I have no idea why. I feel like on the second tier, I can't remember how many gig there is, but I need to pay like $3 something, so that's I think quite a lot of like memory space for like $3 something a month. So I'm also on iCloud subscription. And then recently I actually signed up for Epidemic Music, because I'm very particular about the music in my vlogs. So I want to give you guys a better experience watching the vlogs. That's why I signed up for Epidemic. Like, if you have not heard of Epidemic Music, they do like royalty-free music. You can use any of their soundtracks, and their soundtracks are so great. I love it. So I decided to invest in that as well, to give you guys a better vlog viewing experience. If you have not caught my Japan vlogs, why not? You totally should. I really put a lot of effort into them. I'm going to link it up over here for you. I also don't have any sort of gym memberships or any country club memberships. I don't really subscribe to these things as well, so as much as possible I try to keep my subscriptions at a minimal to not incur so much like monthly cost as well. Another thing that I feel like I have not bought for a really long time is actually shower gels or like bath products. So I was a fan of Bath and Body Works, and every like end of the year I used to stock up on their shower gels, and I'll just buy a lot of them, and I still have a lot of them sitting in my shelf. Oh my goodness, like I'm just trying to use up all the shower gels. And my parents especially have this really bad habit of like going to hotels and like collecting their toiletries, like their shower gels and their hair shampoos, blah blah blah, and they bring everything back home and we have a ton and they don't use it. So I'm not sure why they even want to bring it home in the first place. I feel like if you want to take it home, you use it lah, like, but they don't use it at all. So I'm trying to also use them up because I feel like it's a waste to just leave them sitting around until they spoil and then like they will just throw it out. I'm also guilty of taking back some of the shower gels from like different hotels, but I'll only take shower gels that smell nice and or the packaging is really nice. Or if it's Aesop, you have to take it. I mean, it's Aesop. So I will take those shower gels. I don't typically tend to take their shampoos because a lot of the shampoos don't really work on me. I'll take the conditioners because I'm not really particular on conditioners, and I go through conditioners like crazy because I have so much hair. So any conditioner that works, I will gladly take it. And I think these are just like little ways that I'm trying to save. So apart from like buying shampoos on like a regular basis, the rest I don't really buy anymore because I have so much of these like random shower gels like sitting around at home. I'm just trying to make use of them and finish them up as much as possible. So speaking of shopping, I also try to bring recycle bags as much as possible to, you know, like keep my shopping in. I have this tote that I like to tote around, but you know, it can't fit into like your mini bag sometimes. I feel like it's a great thing that Singapore is moving towards like the whole green aspect and trying to use less plastics by, you know, making us pay for plastic bags in like supermarkets as such. It's a good and bad thing, I guess, because people will complain that they need to buy plastic bags now, blah blah blah. I feel like the government could have done this like much earlier, but they didn't. Because everywhere else in the world, right, you have to pay for plastic bags. Like I was telling I'm trying to educate my parents that most of these countries, especially Japan, you have to buy plastic bags and they will charge you for plastic bags for like the longest time. And I feel like a lot of the Singaporeans just take it for granted that plastic bags are given at all these like places that you shop in, and it's very bad for the environment, I must say. So sometimes when I forget to bring a plastic bag and they want to charge me for the plastic bag, I will tell them that I don't want, and I would literally carry all the items in my arms like I'm some like shoplifter and then I'll bring it to the car because like I can just put it in the recycle bag that is in the car already that I forgot to take it out. And then last but not least, I feel like when it comes to shopping, I'm very good at finding a good deal, or rather I get very excited when I'm able to find a good deal. Like I purposely wait for Black Friday, or I purposely wait till there is a sale to try and get some items that I don't need to rush to get it. I think this is like an Asian thing. We are always up for a good deal. Like I want to be able to save on my shopping as well as much as possible. So I also try to shop at shopping malls that have reward system. So I shop at MBS, I shop at Ion, I shop at CapitaLand because these places have like reward systems and I want to get in on it and earn some points. I have managed to get things for free before because I've racked up points or rebates that I can less off the item for. So I think that's great because every dollar counts as well. And another thing that I really love using is credit cards that give you miles and rebates. So I purposely make sure I look through my list and keep a tab on how much I've spent on this card. If it has exceeded the 4 miles per dollar spending limit that month, then I will not use that card. I'll use another card. So things like that. I've also actually purposely asked some retail stores that I've shopped at to purposely hold the item for me till the 1st of the month, and then I will purchase it because on the 1st of the month the miles limit actually refreshes itself, so I get another whole batch of like miles again. So I think that's great, but I wouldn't recommend it for people who don't want to manage so many credit cards. I feel like just pick the ones that work for you. But I do have a credit card system going on. So for the most part, I wouldn't say ever, but for the most part, I never really forget to pay my credit card bills. And I don't really incur like late charges, and even if I do, I think most of the time they try to waive it off for me because I'm always very disciplined. I have quite a good credit score, I guess. Oh my god, I feel like this is going to be such a lengthy video, so if you have watched up to this point, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching and hearing me ramble on and on about my savings. I hope you enjoyed this video nevertheless. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!